I know. My name is Kaela, and I'm a senior at Roosevelt High School. I'll start when I was a kid then. When my parents still lived together, we used to go to church like every Sunday, every Wednesday I was going, and I went to a private school, like a Christian school, so that's kind of how I learned about God and I would say met him. But then when my parents got divorced, we stopped going to church Sundays, Wednesdays. I didn't go at all. And I kind of just like fell into, I would say, like a deep depression, and I started struggling with anxiety and just had like a lot of questions that went unanswered, and just it was just really hard, and I kind of fell into bad relationships with people, like toxic, abusive, and I wasn't really able to get out of those, and I didn't really know any better. So then I started going to Wednesday churches when I was like a freshman or senior or a sophomore. I didn't really take it very seriously, though. It was just kind of like I went for fun, just to talk to my friends and hang out. This year, when I met CG and kept going to the Collision Wednesday lunches during school or whatever, she was talking to me. The conversation was about swearing, and I've always struggled with that. I swear a lot. So she said that if I accept Christ and like get filled with the Holy Spirit, that would help with that. And so it was kind of just a joke at first, but then she asked me, like, seriously, did I want to accept Christ into my life and take that next step? And I was like, sure, let's do it. The whole process, she was praying over me and I was repeating after her. It got really emotional. I started crying, and then they gave me a Bible for that day. And after that, I've been meeting with her every Tuesday, and we talk, and she gives me like different books to read. I've definitely felt like a big weight lifted off of my shoulders after I did that. I struggled with anxiety, and it's definitely been this year a lot better. I haven't felt super sad or anything. The relationships that I was in, I was able to like cut those toxic people out of my life. I wouldn't say I'm alone, but like I'm better on my own now, and I don't feel lonely, whereas before I was struggling with cutting those people out of my lives because I felt really lonely and felt like I didn't have anybody to be there for me and help me through things. But now I feel like I have him there to help me through things. Definitely have struggled with anger. That's one thing that I like my whole life. I just don't know like where to put my anger or how to handle it. And like I said, after I accepted Christ, it was just like a big change. Like I didn't feel as angry as I did before, and even now when I do get angry at somebody, I don't feel the need to go out and do anything or say anything to them. I'm just like, okay, you got it, you know? So I just feel more content, I would say. I mean, I got involved with basketball because every kid does. It was 4th grade. But then as I grew up, basketball became like really important to me, whereas before it was just for fun. Then it became more something I did because it brought me happiness, and there wasn't a lot of things that I felt did that, and I feel like I just put all my emotions into the game. So if I was sad or angry, I would go play. And now I have multiple things I feel that I can kind of put my emotions into, and just basketball isn't the only one. I feel like I have a good support system, whereas before I didn't feel that way, and just being able to talk to God and give my feelings to him instead of just always going out to shoot hoops. Who is Jesus to me? I would say that he, right now, I feel like is almost like my friend where I'm at. Like I said, it's just I always struggled with relationships and keeping good, healthy relationships. I always chose the wrong people and hung around the wrong people. Like I said, I don't feel lonely. I feel like he's there for me, or he's filling me with some sort of happiness or content. I don't feel like I need to reach back out to those people, whereas before I definitely would have, or I would have searched for something to kind of fill that void, because for a long time I just wasn't happy and I couldn't really pinpoint what it was, so I would just go like and search through different people or different friends. Collision has impacted me in a lot of ways, I would say. The main one is just giving me like a good community of people who want to see me do better and that I know want to see me do better. When it comes to like school or just my mental health and just my relationship with God. I think that reaching out to the other kids in my school about Collision could be very important, and it is something that we should work on and probably talk about more, because just a lot of people don't even know who God is or any of that, or what he can do for your life. And if they do, they don't know like the seriousness of it. They just take it as a joke, or they might already have their own, religion from when they grew up or their parents. It's important to me to share the hope of Jesus with others because Through my journey, I didn't really have anybody who really came to me and sat me down and just told me, like, this is what your life could be like if this is what you do, and if you follow his word and do what he says, like, this is what you could have. And I feel like a lot of people, that's the reason that they don't accept Christ, because they don't know, like, they just think it's like, oh, I'm gonna go to church on Sundays and maybe youth group once in a while. They don't know that, like, the problems that they have maybe with their parents or their friends or their boyfriend or girlfriend, like, that it all can change, and your happiness, your anxiety, depression, whatever you struggle with, like, it can all change. So I just think that's something I definitely want to work on, because like I said, I do feel like I'm in the beginning stages, and so it's hard to share about something that you don't feel like you know a lot about. But CG always tells me it doesn't matter. She said that she didn't know a lot, but as long as you tell people, like, who he is and what he can do, then he can always change your life.